So Scott's going to fall to the underarm side. He's going to clear the hook. I'm going to bring my toes out, strip my hips, fall to the other side, make the hook. He slides out the other side, extract, and comes them out. Back. So just as a defensive person, you know, we got our hands up here, you know, trying to defend our neck. And a lot of times we get in this habit of being just like this, but this is not trying to stop an arm coming around this way. Like if I'm on Kristen's back here, and I'm coming around like this, he's got both his hands up and he's protecting. This here is not going to stop this hand from getting to choke. It can help me, right? And this same thing here. So it's usually the opposite hand that's going to stop and protect and stop from the choke, right? So just kind of keep that in mind when we're attacking the person from the back. For them to defend properly, it's going to be they're defending across and attacking the opposite hand coming across. If they're trying to defend with the same side hand, they're going to lose. Okay, so just keep that in your head, because we all stand here like this. We're trying to defend like this, but this doesn't stop the choke. It's the opposite hand that blocks coming across. So, so the first thing, we'll start with some hand fighting. So we're going to turn sideways for a second. Notice how Kristen's much taller than me, much bigger. For me to attack him in this position, it's not easy. So if you have a situation where the person in front of you is higher than you, we need to bring him back into I want to be higher than him before I start attacking him. So I might be here, shift myself back and pull him into the pocket. Now that I'm the taller person, the attacks are going to be a lot easier for me, okay? If I start where I should be comfortable, my posture's good, his back is the one that's taking the blunt of the discomfort right now, because I have my posture and I have my base underneath me. So from here, I can do my seat belt. Remember, it's always the bottom hand that covers the top, because if Kristen goes to defend, he's going to take the top hand, or bottom hand, and that still leaves me my choking hand. If I grab the bottom hand with my top hand when he defends, now I don't have the choke, right? Makes sense? So the bottom hand is always the one that's covering up on the choking hand, okay? So I'm in my seatbelt position. I'm controlling. I got my hooks in. We're in tight. So the first thing I want to do is I want to start to isolate the opposite arm or hand. So notice this is the one I'm going to go to isolate first. I'm going to catch and start to control. This one here is my choking hand, so I'm going to really exaggerate this, but I want to take this out. And when I come up around, he's going to want to defend this. He's going to grab right there. It's up there out of the way. So the bottom hand, now that I baited him to grab this top hand, I'm going to bring the other one over, palm up right here. Now I'm going to do a S grip here, pull in together. I get a little wrist lock there. When that happens, he's going to move his hand out. I re-catch, and I come in with the choke. Okay? Let's turn and face. So, pull him into the pocket. I'm in tight. I'm looking to first get the opposite arm. So I'm here. I might humble, start to attract, get a control of this hand on the other side. I'm going to extract this, come out really high, really exaggerate this. So he's going to go to defend this. He grabs right there. I'm going to re-pummel with the top one and turn my palm up on the bottom hand over the top. Now I'm going to go to S grab, bring the hands in. I get a wrist lock right there. He has to move it. Re-pummel and get my hand around the back. From here, I can control the hand. If I control the hand, a lot of times it'll extend out. I can bring this back to the back, control this, and get the choke with the single arm here. Okay? You guys remember doing the choke with the single arm? So one more time, and then I'll switch to Kristen now. So again, I'm in the seatbelt. He's defending. I'm going to pummel, fight for this bottom control. Opposite arms here. I exaggerate this. He comes up and blocks. From here, I'm going to take my bottom hand, just bring my palm over the top, go into an S grip right here. I pull this in. He has to move his hand because there's a wrist lock there. Once he moves that, I can re-catch the bottom. That leaves the top here. Come in, I can finish from here. I can bring this back around, keep this trapped here, and get my finish here. If I want to go back to, you know, the old rear neck, you know, complete finish here, I can do that as well. Okay, I'll switch you out. Scott, can I borrow it? Everybody see that? There's a lot of detail, a lot of running through there first time, but okay. Again, we're here. Pull Scott into the pocket. I'm comfortable. He's not so comfortable. I'm going to catch the opposite side, control that arm. I come up to exaggerate, like going across the choke. He's going to grab the block right there. Once he starts to block, I let go of the bottom. I bring my palm up over the top facing, go to an S grip and pull this in. From here, I'm going to rotate my wrist. He has to move that hand because it's wrist locking him. Once he does that, I re-grip, come up across the top. I can take the hand out and back in to control the shoulder there, or I can extract, come up, get my rear naked choke. Remember, we always want to try to go for the hands, right? Because if you get, anytime we get a wrap onto the hand here, you know, the big part of it here, I can start really controlling here. Now from here, he doesn't feel comfortable with this, and he might try to extend out. And when he extends out, this is where I'm going to extract this back. Typically, I want to try to bring it to the inside here. Now that I have it to the inside, this is very controlling, and I can probably get the shoulder finish here, right? So we're trying to fight. We're not trying to grab. But he's defending. He's going, you know. When I come back like this, he's really trying to defend. He's grabbing the arm or whatever from here, right? So we're always trying to grab the hands and control here instead of grabbing out here. We have a lot more capability of blocking the wrist out and getting control of the bottom of the arms. So again, we're here. I'm looking to first block the opposite side or control the opposite side. Once I'm here, I come back, I exaggerate this movement. He's going to bring this arm up to block right there. Again, now I'm going to pummel up, palm up, S grip, pull this in. Now as I start to rotate, again, the tighter I do all this, the more likely it's going to be a wrist lock for him, right? I grab here, I can transfer, get down to the hand here. He's going to not like this. He's going to try to fight. He pulls out. This is when we bring it back in here, okay? Then I got the choke from here. Again, if I have any issues where I can pull this back in here, bring my leg up. Now, this is free as well. I can get this arm trap. I know a lot of us don't have shoulder flexibility, so like Mike, he's probably been done a long time ago. But again, now I got control here. I can move myself around to get the proper location to line the elbow, or the elbow with the chin. And then the finishes, I can finish from right here or come in. I like to hammer fist. So I make a hammer fist like this and come down. That tends to take up more space. Remember, we never cup the back of the head like this. It's more like a guillotine type movement. So we're going to make a hammer fist, come down, and then get my finish here. Just to clean that up a little bit. Anybody have any questions on that? Or
I have a conceptual question.
Yeah.
Not a technical question.
Yeah.
So can you go back into position so I can be right and left? Sorry, that's how to describe it, John. So conceptually, you want to finish this choke, you want to control his left arm with your left arm. His left arm is the one that's effective at stopping the choke on that side.
This one,
but you're not just starting there.
No.
Is that because you can't? Are you grabbing his right arm first because his left arm is not available? Because you're just using the right arm to get to his left one.
Yep. So let me think of it.
Just move this out of the way.
If you could just get the left arm with your left hand now and kill it, that's how you would start, right?
Yep. But again, this is like a standard way that people go about things, right?
Yeah.
So if I come in the back door sometimes and you know, defend way out, that potentially can make a big difference, right? So I think, you obviously, if you win the hand fight here, I can start controlling here, go right to
just
this,
go there and win,
and win, right? This here, may open up different options for if he falls to the other side. Remember, I want to fall this way where the choke is strong for me on the strong side, but potentially if he falls this way and I got control of his bottom arm, I potentially jam this up, come in. Now I can catch here. Now it's a fun day for me, right? He has nothing on this side. I can control here. This is a free choke just because I had control on that bottom side. Right? So I might be premeditating things that happen in the roll. If he falls to the side I don't want him to fall to, I still have control of the other side. Does that make sense?
Yep.
But yeah, you're right. If you got control of that top one, it's really hard for him to defend with the same side arm. But it's not showing your cards. If he knows I'm automatically trying to go for that, he's probably going to fight for me not getting that control of that hand.
Yeah.
Make sense, guys? You guys hear about the strong side, weak side all the time, right? And when we try to defend, if there's a choke present, he's always wanting to fall to the side that I'm pointing my hand, right? The side that opposite of the choking side. And we like to try to pull and get him to fall to the strong side, which means I have a stronger, opportunity to get the choke. But a lot of times it's really, even though we win the battle of bringing him to the far side, if we fall here from the start, when Mike comes over, I'm not in the best place. Let's turn this way a little bit. He's already starting to slide out a little bit, which makes it hard for me to get this choke, even though it's on the side that's favored for me, right? But it's just not positionally. He's able to kind of defend a little bit because the angle's off, right? Does that make sense? So even though he's here, it may not be the optimum place for me to really finish this choke. So a good way to set this up is, just like when we did our warm-up drills, I'm going to bait to fall to the opposite side, or he naturally wants to go this way to defend this choke. So as I start to go, I plan out, and he starts to rotate his hips. When I get him to here, now we're in the midpoint. Notice he has all this space for his head to fall back. There's nothing against me to defend, keep his chin tucked to make it hard to get the choke in. So now I'm going to reach in and get my arm placed right and fall back to the strong side. Notice now, positionally, he can't slide his bottom shoulder out as much. Now I have a lot easier chance to finish this choke. Does that make sense, guys? So if I just fall to this side and he starts to defend, he slides out a little bit, it's hard for me to finish the choke from here, even though I still have control, but my angle's off, right? So what I want to do is let him start to go the other way. Once I'm here, I bring my foot out, he starts to turn, I'm going to bring him to the center. Right now is a good time for me to go for the wrap on the neck, because positionally his head can fall back and it's harder for him to keep his chin down from this position. With his hips up and his back flat like this, it's a lot easier to get under the chin. From here, I drive back over. Now, notice his shoulder's not as far out. Now I can come in and get the choke finish a lot easier. Does that make sense, guys? Great job. Willie, come by. You see the difference when I came back to the other side, his shoulder wasn't as far out? Yeah.
It's like a really basic detail, but how do you, when you push back to the other side, is there a way to do that so you're not you're not muscling it? You know what I mean? Like, especially if it's a bigger person,
Again, it's
get under their hips or something. Is there a trick to that, or like?
well, sometimes it's timing, right? We already know exactly what like David's always doing his jiu-jitsu based on, because he knows what everybody's standard escapes are, right? So he's always a step ahead. So I don't have to wait for him to shoot his hips up, right? Because when he's defending, he's coming here. When this guy goes and plants, he's moving his weight across my
He's not getting
bottom
stuck
leg.
there before. He's not letting himself get stuck now.
The reason you're getting stuck there, if you premeditate and you know what you want to do here, before he plants and starts bringing across like this, now he's got all his weight on your leg. Now you're trying to move him, right?
Yeah.
So if I know where I want to go and Willie starts to fall that way, I'm going to go ahead and lift the hook out, and I already had it planted before he starts rotating his hips to the ceiling. So if I'm here and we fall, I don't give him a chance to start moving his hips. Because about the time, we'll go back to center, Willie. If I fall here, Willie turns his hips up to the sky. He's on top of my leg right now. Now we're working from here. That's where the struggle's happening, right? So if I know he's falling to the side of the choke, or defending the choke by falling that way, I don't have to wait for him to clear my hook. I can step out and clear it and move him back to center before he gets his weight on my leg. Does that make sense? Make sense, everybody? So I'm premeditating. I know I want to go to the strong side. So if Willie starts to defend by falling this way, I don't want him to settle, step out, move his hips up and lay on that leg. Because now he's winning the fight. But if I do it and step out when he starts, before he rotates his hips, I'm already out here. I can reposition before he gets his weight on top. His weight's more centered on my hips before. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it's a timing thing.
It's a timing thing. Because you know he's already fallen away from the choke. And so if you feel that you've lost that control, you weren't able to maintain it from here, you're already starting to fall. He's winning. Don't let him get farther ahead, so you premeditate and step out. Okay? So let's go through the full sequence here. So we're here, and so Willie knows he wants to fall that way. For example, so he starts to fall, I'm automatically here. I'm rotating from here. He's flattened out right here, right? I could go here. Look where his head can go if I drive underneath the chin. Look at all that space. Now I come up and get my grip here, okay? Now from here I come over, re-hook, come out, and then I got the choke there. Does that make sense? So again, kind of on Paul's question before, if I fight and get that hand control, I got it, right? Well, he knows if I get control of that hand, he's not going to let me try to get that, so he's going to be fighting that. So if I come around the back door, stop this over here, then come up here, exaggerate this, he's got to defend now, right? So I'm not showing my cards. Here, I'm not going for the choke right away. I'm not doing the wrap right away. I'm doing the wrap after I get my position, and he's like this, and his neck's falling, and I got all that space in the world. It's hard for him to defend when I can, his head's trying to hold his head up, right? His head will drop, and that gives all that space. Then I'll do my wrap and then fall back to the strong side. Does that make sense? You guys all know how we fall back and forth. We got two main chokes we do from here. We do the rear naked choke, and then we got our collar choke. So just keep in mind that we can go back and forth between these, right? So if I'm here and I'm going for this and he defends this, he might push that arm down, but I can feed my lapel here and start to stop this being pushed all the way down. And that's, if I'm here for the cross collar choke from behind, I'm working to get to a position here to take this and like that. But so, for example, I'm going to show another step to this, what we've been doing. If he gets up here and he starts to push this down, I can come back in and grab the lapel to stop that motion, okay? As I'm controlling, I can start working this up to get to here. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to play that into this move. So we're here, we're doing everything. Mike starts to fall to the defending side. I step out, come underneath, and I stop here. I might feed the lapel to my hand right here at this point because he's blocking well and it's hard for me to get underneath the chin. I'm going to feed to the lapel. Now as I fall to the full side, or the strong side, I get my hook in. I'm going to take out the slack. I can grab here. Let's turn, we'll turn this way, sorry guys. So once we were up here like this, Mike kind of noticed me coming, he blocks. I'm going to fold the lapel, feed it to my hand. From here, I can start pulling this down and feed my hand up until I get here where he really has to defend. Again, he's defending with the opposite, same side, or he's defending with the right hand, but look where he's at. He's not in the proper place to defend this. So I've worked my way up to here. I've taken out the slack. From here, all I want to do, the rear naked choke is kind of out of the picture here because I'm out of position a little bit. But all I want to do is take this top leg, like we're going to do the remount. I'm going to step over here, extract my bottom leg. I'm going to come up on my elbow on this side. From here, just drive my hips in. You okay there, man? Yeah. One more time? Oh, sorry. He ain't getting away that easy.
No, I just want to. I do want to see it.
I will show you.
Just use Doug, though.
Yeah, I'll use Doug. So I'm trying to think of the best way to show it from. Yeah, so let's turn this way. So it is like a bow and arrow, but I'm not stepping. And that's the next progression, right? If I had to, I can go straight to the next step as the bow and arrow, but I'm finishing before that. So we're in here. He starts to fall to the side. I premeditate. I bring my hips underneath. From here, I'm trying to get under, but he blocks, so I'm going to feed the lapel here. I'm going to cinch up as much as I can from here. As I fall to the side, I bring my hook in. Okay? From here, I'm going to reach across like we're going to remount. We've done the remount part of this, but I'm going to stop halfway through. I make my hook. I'm going to extract my bottom leg. From here, I'm not going to come up on top, but I'm going to bring my elbow underneath. Stop right here. So once I'm here, I've got active toes. I'm keeping control of the hips. I'm just going to drive my chest and my hips in.
So what's the choke? Your forearm and the lapel.
It's my hand.
Its own hand stuck in there as well, right? It's a cross collar choke. It's not a trach. I'm trying to cut blood off both sides. I'm being really gentle here,
You
but
can do without the hand.
so we talked about like the bow and arrow. It's the same motion as the bow and arrow choke, but anytime I work in technical mount and I'm in here like this, I'm shooting this hand underneath, 2 fingers. I'm here. I'm bringing my knee right underneath to make a little shelf. Then I'm just bringing my weight forward. That's the end of the choke right there. I don't like to step over, grab, do all this stuff. I can keep control here, reconnect my body, and drive in and get the choke right there. I think that's a lot more movements. If you really want to kill the person and you're struggling, but I try to finish from that position there. Really, please? I want you to do it. So Mike can see this. So it's just a fallback. If I'm getting in trouble where he's defending the rear naked choke, I can fall back to the collar choke. So we're here, fall to the side, meditate, I bring him in. He's blocking here, so I'm just going to open my lapel, feed it to my hand. If I start down low, that's fine. He may not defend right away as much, right? But I can anchor this up. As I come down to the other side, I make my hook. I step across, extract the bottom leg. From here, all I'm going to do is come up on my elbow, here, and drive in. Some people's necks are a little